is Elizabeth Coblentz, and I'm back with the final Bucks report of the 2023 season. I'm joined again by Coach Morgan. So this week, the Bucks closed out their 2023 season with a loss to Miami East, but the progression by this team made throughout the whole year was on display in the final game. What are your thoughts on how well they played?
I think it was our best game of the year. You look at the first opening drive, we go down, drive the entire field, score. Had a couple stops in the first quarter. Really awesome way to start the game, and then just kind of got a little bit. We had a part in the game where it kind of got a little out of hand a little bit, but it was a short period of time. And you take away those small times, and we played really well. Caused some turnovers, controlled the ball pretty well, and played a pretty tough game, I thought.
Yeah. So outside of the last minute of the first half, we played really, really well. So what aspects of the game can the players use as motivation moving forward for next year?
I mean, I think you take it and say we had a team full of starting on offense, and we had 8 to 10 freshmen starting on last Friday or 2 Fridays ago now, and they went and drove the field and played pretty strong football against a bunch of older guys. I know we had a couple of older guys out too, like Caden Thompson was out last Friday, and we had to start two of the freshmen in this spot. So there was a lot of young guys starting on last Friday, and they made a ton of plays. I mean, we drove the field early and scored, caused 2 turnovers. If you take away that minute you said of playing pretty poor for that minute or two, we didn't really have many turnovers at all outside of that time period. So overall, really good football. Just we gave up 28 points in a handful of minutes, which is pretty rough.
So this was a really, really young team with 18 freshmen, 4 sophomores, 4 juniors, and only 2 seniors. Mm-hmm. So for as young as they were, how impressed were you with their growth and development from the very start to the very finish? It's been awesome, and people don't see it all the time, but the growth they've had from the start of summertime to now is phenomenal. I just go down the list in my head, all these kids, it's like looking at where they started at back in June to where we finish at now. It's phenomenal. It's just great. It's awesome. Like, look at the early games in the year. We couldn't move the ball very well. We couldn't do a lot of stuff. And against East, you put those weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of work in, and you see a lot of stuff pay off. And then we had a couple of guys get hurt, and other freshmen step up and just filled right in and didn't miss a beat. So it was really cool to see how our development went this year. Yeah. So we are losing 2 seniors, Derek Meyer and Garrett Hobbs. How much do they mean to the program and the development of all the younger players?
A ton. Made a ton. Derek Meyer has been a kid for 4 years that has done things the right way, that has led for 4 years straight, and he's been a lot to a lot of kids and to me and to the program. One of those guys that will show up. I think we check attendance, and since his sophomore year, I think he's missed like 3 days in 3 years. I mean, and all 3 of them were like kind of legit serious excuses where he missed. Even when he tore his ACL, he was in the weight room, doing rehab, recovering, being here. I mean, he's an amazing example of how you handle yourself. And Garrett Hobbs came in the summertime without playing last year. You can fall behind easily, and you can easily kind of get out of the mix. And then he got injured on top of that this summertime, and he did a great job of being a leader and a teacher to a lot of the guys. I know our O-line and D-line really look up to him for a lot of the guidance that he gave. Yeah. So we have a lot of extremely talented athletes with the opportunity to return next season, and a really solid freshman class coming in too. There's also a lot of other athletes in the school system who could really help out the program if they chose to play. So what do you see about the potential all around at Covington? Really good. The potential is there. It's really cool because we started this year, I think, of the 18 freshmen, I think it was like 10 to 11 of them had to start at least 1 game or more this year. About 8 of them started every game. Mm-hmm. And the sophomores all either started or played the majority parts of the game. And so next year coming back, I mean, we lose 2 great seniors that meant a lot to the program. But as far as like roster spots, only losing 2 guys, and bring everybody else back. And then we mentioned a good freshman class coming in. It's really cool, the potential, because you look at the progression of a typical high school football player. Their freshman year, they come into the program and they just kind of exist. They're just there. And, there's a lot of older guys that take the reps and take all the stuff and all the attention, and they just kind of exist and they just get through it. Sophomore year, maybe they play a little JV. If they're really lucky, maybe they get special teams on varsity, but probably not. And then by your junior year, you start playing on the varsity field, and so this first 2 years, you're just kind of here. Maybe a little JV here and there. And then by your junior year, you really kind of get varsity time and you get those things going. And then your senior year, it kind of clicks. You get a year of varsity experience, and that's why seniors are seniors. They've had the experience, they've gone through the process. And for us, it's almost like all that's been fast forwarded by 4 years. Where these current freshmen didn't get those 2 years just to stand here. They got thrown to the fire right away. Right. And at times it was hard at times. But I think when they look back at it, when they're juniors and they're seniors, and even next year when they look back on it, they're going to say, I would have traded that for the world. It sucked at times. I mean, I was definitely oversized and overmatched against certain people. But what happened, where your mind's at now, where your body's at now, because of that year of experience, will mean the world. Like I look at a guy like Mason Epperson, who he kind of went here last year, and he got thrown as a freshman, and he struggled a lot of times. But he comes as a sophomore now, and he's like a whole year ahead. He plays like a senior this year as a sophomore. So guys like him, who I'm crazy excited for next year to say, what's your junior year look like? I mean, you had 2 years of varsity starting experience 2 ways. Like it's incredible. So and if we get more guys to play, that'd be awesome. But the guys that are here are really have bought into our culture of what we do, and I'm really excited to see kind of the growth they have these next couple of years.
Yeah, for sure. So with the way the culture of the team is now and the buy-in of the players that they've showed over the past year, what are the next steps that we need to take to be in preparation for 2024?
Constantly raising the standard. It took a couple of years to kind of get our culture kind of going, and I think these kids did an amazing job this year. It's a lot of credit to them as far as buying into what we're doing, and they've done a phenomenal job of that. So like our core values of work tough and selfish, humble, and loyal, they've dived into it. The idea of being relentless, they've dived into it. The idea of being of having a neck-top mentality, they've dived into it. The idea of having a Prefontaine pace, they've dived into it. So all our stuff that we do, we're there. Now the next step is how can you do a little harder? How can you do a little faster? How can you do a little more? And finding, for coaches, finding ways to raise the standard a little more and challenge a little more, because they achieved a lot this year. Even with the record book to show it, they achieved a lot this year. And what good programs do, good coaching is finding ways to say, okay, you're here, how can we get you to this spot now, and then into this spot, and just constantly trying to raise that bar a little bit is the next standard.
Yeah. So that's all I have. But to close out this report, is there anything else that you want to address or talk about?
No, I just really want to say that even though some people might look at our record and see that it wasn't the best year, if you look at what we did, I guess what the kids did, and what they achieved, starting 8 freshmen is kind of unheard of. Yeah. And really some games we started 10 freshmen, and that's really unheard of. And the courage of the kids to do that, that speaks a lot to them. And I think it's one of those things when you look back in a couple of years, you look back and say, it might have been hard, but man, I'm grateful for the experience and the mindset I have now because of this thing. So I'm just proud of the kids for how they've handled this year, and through all the times, maybe there's times of hardships and adversity here and there, they've done a phenomenal job of saying, so now what, keeping their head up and moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. Next, I will be joined with 2023 juniors, 2024 seniors. Thanks. My name is Elizabeth Coblentz, and I'm here with the final Bucks report of the 2023 season. I'm joined here with this year's juniors, next year's seniors. Let's talk about a little bit of the progression of the team throughout the season.
I think everybody had a lot of improvement this year. There was a lot of goals that we actually got met that we were allowed to do, and that was terrible. We accomplished a lot of goals that we had set in the preseason, and I think that was a big step forward compared to what we did last year, where we didn't accomplish as many goals as we wanted to. And with that, we're just taking another step in the right direction.
It was really cool to get the freshmen to understand what a varsity level is,
Yeah.
especially from coming from a really small junior high program to having to almost completely relearn on offense. Mm-hmm. And they did they executed it really well all season. Like I don't think that they went extremely far down once. Like yeah, there's hills, but like they only went up once, like summer into season.
I'd say our growth and our like team morale. I think we all got along pretty well. Like no one was really outcasted. Everybody, we were like one tight circle.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's gotten closer, especially us older guys with the younger or like underclassmen. I feel like everybody's just gotten closer and known everybody better.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about going into next season, y'all's senior season. So let's start with off-season. Let's start with off-season lists. What are we looking for? What are we looking to get better at?
Just numbers to get up. Like player, like I personally, I'm sure these guys want too. I want like the entire program in like I know with you guys wrestling and stuff, and with like basketball too. Like some guys aren't going to be able to get in here because they're in-season coaches, understandable.
Yeah.
But like I want this year's 8th graders that are going to be freshmen. I want all of them in here. I want all the players that we had in this year. I just want to get next season started as soon as possible.
I want to continue the growth that we've already had. I just want to keep building on what they've, especially like the freshmen and sophomore. I want to just keep building on what they already have, so that way they have an edge against everyone else whenever they come to people their age.
I'd say, bro, I just lost it. Just getting bigger in general.
Bigger, is that what you
Kind of
said?
going what off the Keen's going. We need most or like almost all of the whole team coming to off-lifting or off-season lifting. So I just whatever Keen said is what I have to say.
Yeah, okay, so let's hit summer off-season. What are we looking to get better at during this summer versus last summer?
By not having to take half the summer to learn what we already know.
Yeah.
That way we can like just, again, keep building on what we already have, which is like also continuing to learn the playbook, to learn the fine details of everything. So that way next year we can come in and learn new stuff and just have another advantage.
I would say like executing, like just right into it, like
Everybody doing their job.
right,
right
everybody
away.
doing all their jobs the right way, and like what he said, like learning more of the playbook. Like, there's plays that we ran our freshman year that we didn't even touch on this year. It's like that. Like I want to get into those, and I want to like just expand it that much more and just run everything correctly.
I'd say probably just knowing your position, knowing your responsibilities, offense, defense-wise, and special teams.
I think we need to fix on the little mistakes more, because if we fix all of our little mistakes, then if we make a bigger mistake, we can automatically get rid of all the little mistakes and focus on the more bigger ones.
Yeah. Okay, so so like all around season, what are we looking to get better at?
I would say just overall as a team, everybody continuing to get better, nobody go backwards. Like take a step forward as a team, as a program, and as a reputation, honestly. Still
Right.
gotta get back.
Obviously, like the past 3 years haven't been phenomenal years. They're not
Right.
like the ones up on the wall over there, right?
Right, yeah.
And so, and like we weren't like this year, we weren't negative at all about it. Like yeah, record-wise, wasn't our best season, but like morale-wise and like just the way that the program's been run in 3 years, this was by far our best year. It's like just carrying that into next year and just nobody getting negative and everybody staying positive no matter what happens.
I'd say everybody just getting better at
What's that? Sorry.
Continuing to have like such a close-knit type of group, so that way, again, we don't have anybody that's outcasted. That way, we actually have a family, and that way, we all have the mutual respect to get on one another whenever it's needed.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything else you guys want to say about next season? This season? Nothing? Okay, so now we're going to get into a little segment where each of our juniors impersonates a coach, so...
All right. That was too slow.
Go back here.
Are we getting
You guys know how I feel about running on the field, right? Get him, Choppin. Get him. Go, go. Nope, not fast enough, Caden. Not fast enough. From the top. Do it again.
Money.
Yeah, money.
All right.
Okay,
All right.
well, who was that? Who was that?
That was Coach Miller.
Wait, who are you impersonating?
Oh, Coach Hatcher.
No chicken out.
In all my years of football, I've never seen anybody play as bad as you guys. I can play better than you guys in my sleep.
It's true. He crap practice all practice.
But he does out of love. It's like funny.
Out of love.
Yeah, it's not him just being a jerk.
Yeah,
Except for Kagan, except for Memkin, he hates him.
Alright, I'm gonna be impersonating Coach Morgan, okay? Alright. I know you guys lost by 45 points to 0, but we played a really good game, guys. I mean, we really improved from last week, even though we lost 10 more points than what we did this game. We did pretty good.
God, you guys are calling us out. I'm gonna be doing Coach Evans. He's sweet and spicy.
Yeah.
Oh, these sweet and spicy seeds are so good, dude. Garrett, I tell you what, man, these are the best seeds ever.
You beat the lips. That's clapping.
Okay, that's all we have for this Bucks Report, our final Bucks Report of this season. My name is Elizabeth Coblentz, and this is our final Bucks Report of this season. Good night, and
Go Bucks!